I would like to call upon our evaluator and also our general evaluator, Jeff Schneider, who will tell us about the objectives of Linda's speech for today. So please go right ahead, Jeff, and tell us about Linda's speech.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Today, Linda will be giving her speech. Linda is a founding member of 25 Alive and currently our president. She worked for more than 35 years as a registered dietitian, health promotion educator at the city of San Francisco, and she's retired and now is able to spend more time volunteering and pursuing her other interests. Linda is very passionate about sharing information on good nutrition, fitness, and healthy aging so that everyone can live their best possible life. She's a foodie, a music aficionado, and an avid swing dancer, and secretly a YouTube fitness instructor. Contrary to some rumors, she's not a food policeman, but does encourage everyone to make healthy choices. Today, her Toastmaster pathway will involve motivational strategies from level 3. The purpose of her presentation is to deliver a speech that inspires the audience. The speech content will be planned to be engaging, and the speaker will be entertaining or moving. The speech today is entitled Tips and Best Practices for Getting Back in Shape and will be between 8 and 10 minutes. And at the end, everyone will have an opportunity in the chat to write comments to Linda specifically or in general. So with that, I'd like to introduce Linda Lau.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Thank you for joining us today at this open house. This presentation is condensed because of time constraints, but I will share a lot of references that you can do follow-up reading. This presentation can be as long as 2 hours. We don't have that much time. We wanted to make sure you experience other parts of the presentation. All right, my goal today, of course, is to share some best practices and tools with you in order to inspire and help you to be able to get back in shape, be happier and healthier. Sounds good? If you think that sounds good, give me a thumbs up in the reactions. That way I know you are paying attention, and we will have other interactive stuff going on too. Fantastic. All right, let me quickly address the big elephant in the room, COVID. In the past 21 months, everyone's lives was turned upside down, a nightmare we all have to face for the first time. We shelter in place, we have to work from home, social distance from friends and families, so we're more isolated. For some of you, you might have to be a 24/7 caregiver or an in-home teacher. Everyone is overwhelmed and stressed out, no doubt about it. Wanted to share a little bit of my personal story. I am very grateful for surviving 2020 to 2021. I'm lucky because my children are grown and I just retired just before the pandemic. However, I too was very anxious and depressed because everything changed overnight. My plans for retirement travel were canceled. I could not do the things I wanted to do, like so many of you. How did I cope? I coped by sleeping longer, right? Baking more to be creative. I binge watched Netflix and other streaming shows in order to escape reality. With all the baking and all the eating and less physical activity, it's not a surprise I gained about 8 pounds. Here's my question to you, and it's a poll that you can answer when you see it on the screen. Okay, I'm going to launch the poll right now. The question is, what is the average unwanted weight gain in the US for adults during the pandemic? Is it A, 10 pounds, B, 16 pounds, C, 22 pounds, or D, 29 pounds? Pick your answer. I'm going to close the poll in like 3 seconds. And we'll see what the response is from most of you. Okay, I am going to end the poll and see which one has the most votes. I am going to end the poll and share the results now. The answer that most of you picked was 16 pounds. And no one picked 29 pounds. Wow. The answer is actually 29 pounds. This is based on a study from the American Psychological Association. 42% of Americans gained 29 pounds, unwanted pounds, during the pandemic. It is not a surprise because we were less active because of shelter in place. We have easy access to food. Our office is just right next to the kitchen, right? Just a few steps away. People are drinking more. People are more stress eating, and they slept poor. And of course, isolated. All those add up to just unwanted weight because we're trying to cope with this prolonged stress. Second question for you, and it's not a poll. What type of exercise can best help you to lose weight and mostly lose fat? Any guesses? Is it aerobics, like running, biking, or is it strength training or bodybuilding? You can put it in the chat if you like. The answer is actually both. Okay, we need aerobic exercises because it helps to raise our heart rate and get our heart health better and burn calories. However, strength training or bodybuilding exercises is just as important because starting at age 30, we actually lose our lean body mass at 3 to 5% per decade. So for the average men, they lose 30% of the lean body mass or lean muscles during the lifetime. And muscles are important for us, not only to help us do daily activities and prevent falls, but it helps to burn calories for us. Okay, they help to increase our metabolism rate so that we're able to use calories and much more. For that reason, it is important for us to include both aerobics and strength training exercises in your exercise routines and physical activities that you do. There are other benefits of physical activity. It also helps to boost your immune system. This is really important, of course, during now with the pandemic. It helps to reduce your stress, right? That's a big benefit now and anytime in our life. It helps to control our blood pressure, keeping it low, and that's important for helping to reduce chronic health problems. It helps us sleep better, and it helps us control other chronic health problems like diabetes, heart disease, even high blood pressure, of course. Reduces depression, makes us feel better because exercise actually creates this natural hormone called endorphins, makes us feel good. All those benefits. The big question is, how do you motivate yourself to move more? That is the million-dollar question, right? Let me share with you my motivation. I say to myself, Linda, don't get blind, don't get kidney disease. Why do you say that? Well, let me give you the backstory. About 3 years ago, I have a wake-up call from my doctor. She said, Linda, you're starting to get blind because of type 2 diabetes that you have. I didn't know I have diabetes. Oh my God, I was shocked. But do you know that 1 in 3 adults in the US have type 2 diabetes? I was one of the 1 out of 3. Anyway, after going through being angry and depressed and all that, I finally did accept the fact that yes, I have a lot of the type 2 diabetes risk factors. I know many patients, families, friends that have diabetes did not know about it and control it early enough that they end up being blind, having kidney problems and kidney failure, getting their legs amputated, and of course, low quality of life. I did not want that when I retire, because I could not travel when I have to go to dialysis for 3-4 times a week. All right. So I said, Linda, you need to stay healthy in order to enjoy life and have quality life. The most important advice I have for you today and takeaway is that find something to motivate you, to inspire you to make some change, to move more and enjoy it. And here I wanted to share two lifestyle strategies so that you can live healthier and happier life, okay? Let me just share that right now. Share the screen. Okay. We need to move more in order to reduce some of these big risk factors for chronic health problems. And to do that, the first thing is to establish a new routine, even during the pandemic. Relook at your schedule, set a goal of at least 60 minutes of physical activity, okay? During most days of the week, either 5 or 6 times a week would be good. That would be your end goal. You might not get there, you might take you a little while, but set that as a goal. And then the second thing is set aside at least 2 10-minute sessions during the day where you can have a break, a physical activity break. You can jog in place, you can do dance to music, whatever. You can do weight lifts, all those things, or stretches, some way to move your body, because that can help invigorate you, okay? You will be less prone to going to the kitchen and snacking and do other things. It will help you get more energy. The other thing you can do, and I think perfected this during pandemic, is that you can multitask. You can watch TV and you can do other exercise at the same time, right? You can do different kinds of yoga moves. You can do using weights or lift your legs, doing dishes, and even brushing your teeth. You can work in some of these smaller physical activity things. They all add up to using more calorie. The second tip is that make exercise fun and do it with others. Do it with your family. Walk your dog with your friends and families. Play sports, basketball, or go dancing, even indoors, right? Or outdoors, wear a face mask, get vaxxed so that you will be safe. You can do gardening. All those are great physical activities. The third thing is that make sure you include some aerobics, strength training and flexibility and balance, of course. Go for hikes. There are so many things. Or you can join a virtual class. There are so many of them that are available. YouTube has lots of them, and I will provide some of those links in the references I will share with you. If you say, I really don't have time, too busy, well, you can try doing the HIIT workout, which is called high intensity interval training. This is a 10-minute intense workout that will give you the equivalent of 15 minutes moderate exercise. I do need to warn you, if you are very sedentary, do not go with HIIT routine because it can be dangerous. You could have a heart attack, okay? So don't start with that if you are sedentary. Start with something easy, walks, okay, other things, yoga. Do those things first and then progress to HIIT if you want. The last thing is track your progress because it can motivate you to move more. You can use your Fitbit if you have any fitness apps, okay, wearable things that you can do. The second key strategy is you need to eat healthier, all right? So eating healthy is important because, and you can use moderate goals to help you, okay? Start with 5 to 10% of losing weight. Okay, even with that, it will help reduce your chronic health disease by 50%, okay? You can use the My Plate approach. This is developed by the USDA and other health nutrition experts. Think of a 9-inch plate, and 1/4 of it is basically your starch or your grains. And then the 1/4 of your plate, or 4 ounces, is lean protein, okay, that would be preferred, about 4-ounce serving. And the other half of your plate should be vegetables and or fruit, okay? Vegetables, is really healthy. It's generally low in calorie, high in fiber, high in nutrients. If you don't use very high fat seasoning or high fat dressing or sauces, fruits, it's good, but it's also higher in sugar content. The other thing to remember is eat less high sugar and high fat foods, processed foods. Try to eat less of those. Eat a variety of food, and if you cut about 500 calories a day in 1 week, you will lose 1 pound. Okay, 500 calories is about one large Danish, one large donut. Okay, make sure you drink plenty of water and avoid drinking sugary drinks. Drink less alcoholic drinks. Even diet soda is not good for people with diabetes because your body cannot distinguish the difference between real sugar or fake sugar, and it still reacts the same way. The third tip for healthier eating is to chew and eat slowly, because it takes at least 15 minutes for your brain to get the message that you are full. Okay. What about intermittent fasting? Is it safe and effective for weight loss? The short answer is no. Just because there's not enough controlled human studies to date to show, is it really safe on the long run? What are some of the health problems with it? And if you have any chronic health problems like diabetes or heart disease, do not go with the intermittent fasting because it can be dangerous for you. However, if the good practice is after dinner, it's a good thing if you don't continue eating snacks during the evening, because that way you could cut back some of those unwanted calories that you don't need while you're sleeping. There are other lifestyle habits here that I briefly listed. I'm not going to go into them in detail. I wanted to quickly go through some of these nutrition resources because there's so much information on the web, and some of them are good, and then some of the information is really poor or actually misleading and wrong, okay, and they can be dangerous. So this is just a selection of some of the really good science-based nutrition information out there. Of course, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, I have an article where you can learn more about what is intermittent fasting, how safe is it or not. The USDA National Library, the USDA has lots of information. Also, the eatfresh.org has some great simple recipes that you can use. Okay. The other is, if you want to learn more about preventing diabetes, here are some 2 video presentations I did. You can view it on YouTube along with other written handouts, how to prevent it, how to manage it. Glycemic index, that is really important for people with diabetes to learn about. And even if you're not diabetic, if you're pre-diabetic, it's good to learn about this too. Fitness resources, there's a whole lot of information for beginners and also older adults. I have 2 links here to HIIT workouts that you can look into if that fits you. Dr. Jeanine Marie Hughes, she's a fitness and dance instructor from City College and also San Francisco State University. She was also my mentor and instructor. I've learned a lot from her. She has a ton of information that is free and low cost. You can check that out. Don't forget that the recreation and parks in your local city has lots of programs for all ages, and many of them are free or low cost. I included other YouTube channels that you can check out fitness. Last but not least, Lindy in the Park is a free swing dance venue in San Francisco. Every Sunday afternoon, you tend to find me there a lot because I usually go there. Now, wanted to say that you have a lot of information. I know it's a lot of information to help you get going, be more physically active, and eat healthier. If you're able to incorporate these things into your life, okay, you will be able to reduce many of the chronic health problems that Americans face and reduce your risk. And I hope that you will be able to then live your best possible life. I am really glad that I am a nutritionist because I'm able to put all these things to help benefit myself as well, reduce my risk for all the complications with diabetes and other problems. I am able to slowly cut back and lost some of the weight I gained during pandemic because I've been a lot more active now. Be safe and work